This is Eagle Owl, and today we're going to be talking about Josh Sweat cryptic message on IG saying he's going to miss the fans. Also, DeVante Parker, a new wide receiver 3, has been signed to a 1 year deal, very cheap deal, team friendly deal. And lastly, we got to talk about a safety being signed soon, but let's get straight into it. All right, so before we get straight into the topics today, Landon Dickerson actually spoke with the media today. No signing an extension about his new contract and what to look for in the future. Also, have he ever even considered another team? But let me go ahead and play this clip.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Being here has been a tremendous, bright spot in my life, and we really didn't plan on being anywhere else. And the only thing I've heard of is guys when they leave this organization and go somewhere else, and how much they miss, everything about this place. For me, I just didn't want there to be any question about how much I wanted to be here and stick around here and hopefully be here my entire career.
Why do you think you fit so well here?
I mean, I think it's just the way that the city and the fans feed off this team, and the way, and vice versa. It's a very demanding place to play, and a lot of people aren't up for that task. But for me, I absolutely love it. There's a high expectation every season, and the fans are going to let you know how you guys are doing, whether it's walking down the middle of the street or going in at halftime. They're brutally honest with you, and I appreciate that, and I just love the passion that this city and everybody has here. It's hard to find anything like that anywhere else in the country.
Nothing new. Landon Dickerson always wanted to stay in Philadelphia. I'm not surprised. This is his home. Never considered another team. And Howie paid paid him pretty well. He was the highest paid guard for about 10 minutes, and then another guard got paid about 25 million a year. But again, shout out to Landon Dickerson, man. He's a Philadelphia Eagle. Love him in Philadelphia, and best of luck to him. Best of luck to him. Another guy I want to talk about, I wish that can stay in Philadelphia, but it sounds like it's coming down to the business, is Josh Sweat. Josh Sweat sent out a cryptic tweet, like a fan page had tweeted something out, or I'm sorry, post something on Instagram, and Josh Sweat's like, yo, we miss y'all, man. Something in that matter, and it had fans in the uproar, but we like, yo, we know it's going to come down to it. But what I'm hearing is that even if Josh Sweat, we see him get traded, that doesn't mean that Hassan Reddick is going to stay. According to multiple sources, they saying not only the Eagles would trade Josh Sweat, but they will trade Hassan Reddick if the money's not right. So we talking about an Eagles team that can have two totally different outside linebackers, or I should say edges. But at the same time, this is not a 4-3 scheme. So I wouldn't be mad at it the more I think about it, because I'm like, do Josh Sweat really fit Vic Fangio's scheme and drop him back in coverage? Not really. Do Hassan Reddick fit that scheme? Not really either. So it really depends what Vic Fangio want and what will work. And it's no reason to overpay for guys that might not even work in the system. All it's going to do is make us mad, because these dudes got 1 year left, and like, yo, we should have traded them, got something for them, if they can't even fit the scheme. And that's what I'm hearing anyway, that might play a factor, and also the 1 year thing. Just stuff I'm reading on Twitter, to be honest. I ain't no expert. I'm just a fan on YouTube talking my talk, but that's the rumor around why the guys might be traded. Not just money, but do they fit the scheme as well? But again, Josh Sweat, I'm really surprised Howie is exploring it, because Howie really love his Philadelphian draftees. And Josh Sweat had a bad year, can't lie. Definitely had a bad year, but 1 year left after a bad year. You're young. Maybe Howie's trying to look into the future, like maybe we could get some draft capital, or nobody's really talking about this because the linebackers are getting snatched up. Like Patrick Queen signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers out of all teams. We know how the Ravens and Steelers rivalry is. He signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers for about 3 years. Like these linebackers are getting snatched up. Snatched up, man. Still some good ones out there, but I wouldn't be surprised if Howie Roseman, as I'm making this video, if this happened, as I'm speaking, Josh Sweat is not only traded for a certain pick, but maybe a linebacker or something. I don't know. Then there's reports that Eagles are approaching the linebacker position like they always do. I know we signed, I believe his name is Zach Byrne. I could be wrong about the name. We signed him, but he's more of an edge guy. He's not really like a inside linebacker like that. So I want to see what we do with the linebackers, but I wouldn't be surprised if Hassan Reddick or Josh Sweat is traded not only for picks, but possibly a linebacker nobody's talking about because that's how we do. But again, shout out to Josh Sweat, man. Hopefully, things work out. We get some, he gets some out of his new team, and again, hopefully things work out. All right. Before I was about to shoot this video, I see my Twitter notification that we signed a new wide receiver. When I say like 4 or 5 years ago, this would have made me extremely happy signing DeVante Parker because I could never forget what he did against us and against Jalen Mills when he was on the Dolphins. Like he just completely took over the game, came back and beat us. I believe that was the 2018 year or 19, one of those years. He was just going berserk. But now he's at the point of his career. He's getting older, injuries. Is he the same guy? So wide receiver 3, he will be the best option at this point. I mean, even at this point in his career, I still think he's better than Quez. Of course, Quez got the speed. He's better than Zacchaeus. And again, we asked him to be wide receiver 3, not 1 or 2. It's a third guy. He's a bigger guy for sure. So we will see what he can do. I mean, 1 year, $1 million. I'm not sure how much is guaranteed. I think he signed like a $4 million deal with the Eagles, but the Patriots got paid like 3, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a good deal. It's a good deal for the Eagles. And, hopefully he could get something rolling and going with the Philadelphia Eagles, just being the third option. Maybe he comes in knowing that he's going to be the third option, might have fourth option, I should say, behind Dallas Goedert. No, he's not going to get as many targets, but the targets he should be able to take advantage of, and he's a vet guy. Feel like we was missing that vet guy. Yeah, Zach Pascal wasn't the best guy, but he was a really good veteran guy. He made big catches when needed. Made me think of the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts was, scrambling out, seeing Zach Pascal. Very secure catch for a first down. You just need that type of guy. And I think DeVante Parker can be that guy. Haven't talked about any other moves. I know, again, we made other small moves like Matt Hennessy. He's a center and a guard. He could be a rotational piece, especially with Jason Kelce retiring. Now, of course, I'm not saying he's replacing Jason Kelce, but you need that depth because now you got Cam Jurgens moving to center. Now you somewhat got a missing piece there at the right guard, and it's going to be competition there. I think the guy Steen should get it. Hopefully Steen is ready for that role, and then we need a backup behind Steen. So I like the pickup of Matt Hennessy. Didn't play last year due to injury, if I'm not mistaken. So again, Howie's making small moves here and there. We signed back Brandon Mann, 2-year deal. We signed that long snapper. No big moves today, but if a big move is to happen, I'm hearing that it might be safety. But let's listen to James Palmer.
Get into Huff in just a second. I think you look at the secondary, that's a spot where they really want to flip the page and really regroup At the cornerback spot, they moved on from Avonte Maddox. It's still up in the air about the future of James Bradbury. They have Darius Slay there, but also adding corners. They're going to do that through the draft specifically. It's a spot that they're looking for. But then also in the secondary, it's the safety position. But we all are watching that safety spot and how deep it is in terms of potential free agents that could land anywhere across the board because there's so many options. That man right there, Justin Simmons, you could think could be one that the Eagles are targeting. Remember, played for Vic Fangio when he was the head coach in Denver, one of the best safeties out there in football since he entered the league. Nobody has more interceptions than Justin Simmons. We'll see if the price could be right for the Philadelphia Eagles, but that is a player that they're looking for. And then also you mentioned Bryce Huff. That's somebody up front that they've had their eye on for some time, to my understanding. And you look at them also trying to change early what they have at the edge rusher spot. You look at Bryce Huff coming in, Nolan Smith going into his second year. They really feel like he's going to take a big jump rushing from the edge. Had off-season shoulder surgery, I was told, but they believe he gets a little stronger, could be more dynamic rushing from the edge. We know how good they are at the defensive tackle spot, the other spot we're looking for. And they do get Zach Bond coming in from the Saints ret. The linebacker position has always been one we've always followed in Philadelphia about how they view that spots, particularly in the middle of the defense. That's one they're looking to rebuild as well. So a lot of things they're trying to do with Vic Fangio on this defense, but they started getting some of them done today, but it looks like they're not done.
As you see, it might be safety. Here is either between C.J. Gardner-Johnson or Justin Simmons. And I see the mixed reviews. A lot of people saying Justin Simmons because he's the better safety. He could bring this, bring that, and then he could fit into Vic Fangio's scheme. Then you hear C.J. Gardner-Johnson because he's younger, the attitude. You can keep him for a long time. You're sick of 30-year-old safeties. But we will see what we could do. Depending on the money, to be honest, we probably could get both because the safety market is drying up and there's still some good safeties out there at this point. They probably could take what they can get, especially before the draft. So, hopefully we could grab one, but we could grab both of them. Hey, I won't be mad at it. But hey, man, what do you think and how do you feel about the news today? Safety room, the new wide receiver we signed, Landon Dickerson, all this good stuff. But this is Eagle Al, man.